Everybody, welcome back. I guess you could call this an unboxing today. In recent past, I got three Zastava rifles. I especially got them with the announcement of when they were pausing their exports, as well as there were some very strange things that was going on with the U.S. government, how they were issuing sanctions against their defense minister, and just all sorts of just craziness with politics. So, what did I get? Well, what we're going to take a look at today is a Zastava M90. It's a ZPAP M90 PS. So this is going to be a 5.56 AK. I would probably say Zastava is probably one of the better ones out there. However, one of the things that you will sacrifice getting a Zastava over many of the other offerings of AKs on the market is the fact that they do not have the bayonet lugs, the ears, whatever you want to call them, that appear on the front of the rifle. But other than that, I still feel that they are some very nice rifles that they offer. Additionally, they have the 1.5 millimeter receivers and trunnions, so they're a little bit beefed up, more of the RPK style. So that's one of the things I do definitely like about Zastava. But without further ado, let's get right into this, and I'll show you what you can expect if you purchase one of these rifles. Immediately off the bat, you'll notice it is a box with an outer sleeve, and I'm going to have a really fun time trying to get this out of here. Many of you probably might have seen at SHOT Show recently. If you saw any of the videos with Ranco, you'll notice that they are actually going to introduce an M72, which I'm pretty excited about that, especially the features that comes with it. But anyway, what we're focused on today is the Zastava ZPAP M90. So let me get this. I'm trying to see my camera while I'm doing this, so I apologize. So right off the bat, what you're going to see in the box here, it is rather nicely packaged. You will have your owner's manual. You will have this congratulations letter. Tells you about some different things about what they had to do when they imported it, some of the changes they had to make. You will also notice, at least mine was shipped with a Gen 3 polymer magazine, plastic mag, whatever you want to call it. I do know with some of the earlier gens they had a lot of issues because they didn't reinforce these feed lips up here. They weren't steel reinforced. And if you noticed, Ian McCollum's video on Forgotten Weapons, his mag completely failed entirely, and he ended up just dumping the rounds out on to the ground. I'm sure Zastava saw that, and I'm sure they said, hey, we got to make some changes to this. They're very good at listening to their customers and listening to what their customers want. I will give them kudos for that. So let me get this out of the way. I'll show you a few more things because I am knocking stuff off or over everywhere on this table. Alright, so let's have a seat back and let's pay attention to some of these things. Now, one of the things I encourage you guys to do is go out and check Austin's Armory video on mags and what will fit these ZPAP M90s. There's a lot that actually do, more so than other manufacturers, which is really cool. I like that. Also note, they do state in their manuals on all their rifles, if you change out the furniture, you void the warranty. So keep that in mind if you decide to get one of these and change some things out. Additionally, because of how this is configured when it's imported into America, something as simple as swapping out a mag can push you out of 922R compliance. So keep that in mind. I can't stress that enough. Stay within compliance. Just follow the laws. So, one of the other things you'll notice that they do ship with are these M-Lock rails. Pretty decent little assortment. Of course, they're all plastic. No big deal there. Stuff that fits great with Magwell furniture. So let's get this out of the package so you guys can take a look at this and see what to expect. Now, right off the bat, what I'm going to harp on is you will notice you're going to see this grease here. Don't worry about the grease, it's just grease from where they assembled it. Some of the other things that you'll notice about this rifle, initially in some of the first reviews of them, these came with a 3-piece cleaning rod. However, this comes with a nice 1-piece cleaning rod. Does of course come with a slant muzzle brake, which I'm not, I guess, particularly fond of on the 5.56 AK. Definitely on their M70s I would be, just because that completes the look. But I would go with a different one, more of a Phantom style. But once again, make sure you get a US one if you're going to do that. So right off the bat, it's got your Hogue furniture. This is the overmolded handguard or lower handguard, and of course your upper is just plastic. You will also notice that the safety catch has the notch cut out in it, so you can hold the bolt open. And that's not particularly useful for an AK in most instances, but if you're at a range that requires you to lock that bolt to the rear, that's one way to do it. And if you pay close attention, you will notice, I don't know how well I can do this, I may have to insert pictures. The riveting looks pretty good. I'm no expert by any means. You'll notice right there off the bat their rail. Now, one of the cool things about this, of course, it comes with the Magpul MOE grip. And the nice thing is you've got this trap door. You can swap this out for modularity. You can put an oil bottle in there. You can put a battery holder in there, just whatever you want to do. Of course, you can see this thing comes covered in a liberal amount of oil, which is nice. You have a non-ribbed top cover. Of course, you have your standard AK sight, rear sight with your graduation marks. Now, one of the things also to point out is their adjustable gas system. And they state this in their manual, and if you guys have seen Rob Sky's videos on AK Operators Union of the rough time that he had with this, you will fully understand why you do not bend this up and rotate this gas plug. They state you take this handguard off and change it. Don't bend this up because it will bend and it won't hold back in the proper position. Then you can have gas issues and reliability issues out of your AK. So I'll post links to his videos of the rough time that he had with that. But that being said, I believe this is a very nice AK for the money, in terms of one that's certainly beefier than what you're going to get through Palmetto State Armory. I'm not knocking Palmetto State Armory, but I'm just saying if you want the nice beefy 1.5mm front or rear trunnion, this is an excellent option. Now, that being said, initially when I was looking at these, I wanted to get one with wood furniture, but I'm thinking, you know what? This is a 5.56. Anything 5.56 in America, at least from a black rifle standpoint, you've got Magpul furniture. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to go with Magpul furniture. Plus, if you guys are like me or bigger than me, one of the awesome things about this Zukov stock, you can see this is brand new, so I'm going to have a little bit of trouble extending this. You can extend this out for shooters that require a longer length of pull. You'll notice they have greased this up, but this is just going to require, a lot of different use to get it broke in, as with any rifle. Now, the other cool thing from the factory, you've got that nice Zukov folding stock. Now you can also, a lot of people have customized these safety releases or these safety levers with oversized ones, and this still fits. You can actually still charge it even with that in place, as you can see. Of course, this is unloaded. I always put that disclaimer at the beginning of the videos, especially when I do things like this. But as you will also notice, you're going to have a hard time getting your finger into that trigger area. I guess you could fire it like this if you wanted to. I don't know if I'd particularly recommend it, because there's going to be a lot of pinching going on right there between that stock and your finger. Of course, that's just held in place with some tension there, and then of course it just locks right back into place. You have your quick sling or quick detachable slots for your sling. Now, let's see, what else have I got to say about this? Oh, of course, Zastava has their own rail mounting system. There's plenty of companies out there that make optics mounts for these. Now, one of the other things I will state about this, I've not shot this yet. I mean, this has been sitting in the box, but I just want to show you guys. when these come into the country, unless I'm mistaken, no, I don't think I'm mistaken, these come with a single stack mag well, and then they widen them out to make them double stack. This is Zastava does here in America. You can see this is the factory mag that came with it. I'm not even opened this yet, but like I said, check out Austin's Armory video and you will notice that he goes through a bunch of mags. He goes through AC Unity, he goes through the Zastava M85s, he goes through just a whole plethora of them out there to see what will and will not fit in these Zastava M90s. And this, of course, you will notice this is the mag that came with it. It is of course empty. You know, it fits right in, and I was about to say that it locks right in. Of course, this is the first time for me inserting this mag. It's a little tight, but it does lock in. You know, and one thing to note before I take this mag back out is it does have last round bolt hold open, as you can see. Of course, yeah, this one definitely fits a little tighter than what I've seen, and it could be just because it's brand new. I would imagine, oh yeah, you see that it went a lot easier the second time. I'd imagine, you know, working it back and forth, it'll loosen up, especially since it's polymer. But one of the things, if you guys noticed my last, or not my last, but one of my previous videos, I scored an excellent, I mean, just an insane deal on Gunbroker for some Zastava M85 metal mags. No, that's not rust. That's grease of some sort, as you can see. I'm trying to figure out where I can wipe my finger off. I can't stress this enough, guys. Stay 922R compliant. I'm not about to insert this into this rifle because, technically speaking, it becomes non-922R compliant if you stick a imported mag into it. So my advice to you is, if you want to shoot or run these mags through it, that you replace the necessary 922R compliant parts in here to achieve said 922R compliance without counting the foreplate, the follower, and the magazine body. That's 3 parts right there. That's why these mags are US that come with this rifle. Yes, I keep these separate from this rifle. I keep this one with this rifle. So just my advice to you guys, yes, there are parts that you can swap out on here. Consult, actually, if you consult this nice little orange paper that comes with your Zastava, it says, for 922R compliance, we have included a magazine with at least 2 US parts. This ensures that the rifle, along with the other necessary US parts, meets the legal requirements for 922R compliance. So, I guess technically speaking, if you could find US followers and US floor plates for these mags, you could use them in here without swapping out a whole bunch of parts in here. Or you could swap out some parts in here and just run these as is. So, you know, there's plenty of forums out there that talk about this. There's plenty of places where you can consult for information about this. But once again, I can't stress it enough, stay compliant. You don't want something like this, you know, obviously sending you to jail. I mean, I know I wouldn't. But anyway, like I said, once again, go check out Austin's Armory. He goes through a whole bunch of these different mags to see what fits, what doesn't fit, what works well, what doesn't work well. And I think he might have done a follow-up range video on that. I can't remember. It's been so long. But yeah, this is that Zastava Zastava M90 PS. Of course, many of you know about the Russian ammo ban. You know, for those of you that have AK-74s, you know, obviously, it's kind of hard to find ammo. I know in the past we heard about PSA was going to start making steel-cased ammo. I know they've got a lot of issues that they're trying to work through to make sure that they've got a good product. They basically got a lot of things to figure out. But in the meantime, if you still want something that's, you know, at least decently affordable that you can play with, I would recommend the Zastava. God, I keep saying it wrong. Zastava ZPAP M90 PS, just because it's a pretty cool rifle. It's got some nice features to it. Of course, there's, like I said, this is that traditional Zastava or Serbian style mount. There's a lot of mounts out there that, or a lot of optics mounts that do work with this rail. And basically, I guess one thing I didn't go into was the gas settings on his, which your manual will tell you a lot about that. It comes from the factory on setting 2. They recommend, I think, 200 to 300 rounds you run through it before you break it down, clean it, and then shift it to setting 1. So that's for their initial break-in. Of course, it is it's an AK. Obviously, it's gonna be pretty gassy, but that's understandable. But you can, because this has standard 14x1 left-hand threads. I mean, you could, if you own a suppressor, you have a tack stamp for that. I mean, you can throw one of those on here. You can have a lot of fun with these things. But I think that's just about all I've got on this. It's a great company, at least from what I can understand. They definitely listen to their customers. They definitely listen to what their likes and dislikes are. I'm not going to bore you to death with breaking this thing down and taking a look at all the internals and everything else, but suffice it to say, this is a forged construction, AK, in terms of your bolt carrier, your trunnion. The critical parts, of course, are supposed to be forged. Not only that, you've got the much larger 1.5 millimeter trunnion and receiver, so it's more RPK style, so it's definitely going to take a bit more abuse. But yeah, I think that's about all I got here. Stay tuned for, I know that I promised a bunch of resto videos, hoping once again to get that Browning Auto 5 back together soon. But anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing another video on the Zastava M70 as well as the Zastava M77. Those are 762x39 and 308 respectively. 308, of course, is a very cool AK to have, and I have one. And oh, by the way, a company called CS Specs makes those magazines. Those are 100% made in America, and they're very, very nice mags. That's what Zastava contracted them to make for them, I believe, and that's what they supply with them. And you can also buy those aftermarket. So if you get an M77, you want more mags, CS Specs has them. So anyway, just want to thank my subscribers. Guys, if you haven't considered subscribing to the channel, make sure you do so. It costs you nothing. It's not like I'm going to flood your inbox. But when you do so, you can hit that bell notification and you can be notified every time I put a video out like this. But not only that, guys, it really, really helps with the YouTube algorithm, because as you guys full well know, this content's hard to come by. You don't see a lot of it. You don't see a lot of it for specific reasons. If you guys get what I mean, I don't have to go into detail on that. So liking, sharing, subscribing certainly helps the algorithm, certainly helps this type of content to become more prevalent on YouTube. So anyway, just want to thank you guys for watching, and until next time, you guys have a great day.